What is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video to do my Green Bay Packers Week 14 Beast recap show. And it was a heartbreaking loss. The Green Bay Packers lost to the Detroit Lions 34-31. I'm kind of toned down right now because I was really amped up after the game. Excuse me. There's going to be a lot of things talked about on this game. Was there some non-calls that were not made that, benefited the Lions? Yes, there were. The last one over there should have been a push-off. It was a push-off. The beginning of the game, there was clearly, contact with Jordan Love's helmet. Well after he had thrown the ball, that should have been called. There were a couple penalties that could have probably changed some things around in this game. But at the end of the day, there was just a lot of key things that we didn't get done that really could have, we wouldn't even be in those situations if that didn't happen. That it happened that way. Jordan Love played a really good second half, but he was low-key in the first half. We managed to get a touchdown right before the first half had ended, which Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs ended up having 3. But, that's going to be the defining thing. We didn't get that receiving touchdown with Josh Jacobs because of supposedly the crack block was not a legal play. With Christian Watson. Didn't really affect the touchdown but on the play, but it was still a penalty. Yeah, man, I'm disgusted. I'm fucking disgusted. I felt so confident going into this game. And the Packers played a really good second half. Jordan Love looked good. We only committed 1 turnover, and that was a fumble on Christian Watson, which maybe if he doesn't fumble there, maybe we score there. And, and that was early on in the game. We might be talking about a different ball game right now. Tricky Dicky Nixon got an interception in the second half. The only turnover they committed. Just a lot of things. The defense was solid, but again, on key moments, they just could not hold them. And then, of course, the final play. Well, 2 plays before the final play was the first they did the big play where it was the potential push-off that they didn't call, which it was a push-off. Frickin' St. Brown's literally was looking in the direction after the play was over because he knew he'd gotten away with it. And he wanted to make sure there was no penalty thrown. It was a push-off. And, of course, it was 4th and inches. Dan Campbell, I knew he was going for it because he went for it on his own 30. He didn't get it on his own 30, but it was the only one he missed. But Dan Campbell, man, I hate this coach because he's a really good coach. But he's coaching the Detroit Lions, and I don't like that. But this man, Dan Campbell, literally went out and won the game. Dan Campbell, freaking multiple 4th down converts. They got 2 touchdowns off of 4th down converts. That's really the key stat. That's not going to even be a stat, but that's the stat. Dan Campbell. And I knew he was going for it on that 4th and inches. It was obvious. You go for it on your own 30, even if you're not getting it. The fact that you're going for it, tells everything you need to know that this guy's going to go for it until the end. And I knew that before the announcers even realized that, which I don't know how they wouldn't have at that point. Um, Campbell, took it in his own hands, and um, do I feel that the Packers, if we met the Lions in the NFC Championship game somehow, like if we get in as a wild card team and we battle through and win the two games, and the Lions win their game, if they get the number one seed, do I think we can go to Detroit and beat them in the NFC Championship game? Yes, I do. I think we can beat the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game because this was a game we could have won. Very, very winnable game for us. It could have gone. If we had the ball at the end, we could have had it. Just like the Lions had it. We were healthy. Jordan Love was healthy. He was mobile. Because obviously he had the groin and the knee or the MCL injury early on. Those injuries bothered him and kind of screwed up him not being able to run out of the pocket. That's all done. He's now can do that again. And he's just throwing really good balls. Right when people probably thought the Packers were out, he gets that big play to Christian Watson, to Vontae Wicks, and then they ultimately get a field goal on that drive. But they never gave up in this game. The Packers never gave up in this game. That's the one thing that every team should be afraid of, is that we did not give up in this game. We did not roll over to the Lions. We were down by 10 in the first half. We did not roll over to them. We kept sticking it right to Detroit in their own backyard, in their own stadium. And we kept fighting until the end. And that's the one thing, that's the only upset I can really say about the Green Bay Packers right now, is that we put a lot of good upside right now on the team. Team has a lot of upside right now, and I think, again, we can still beat these other teams that are coming up and get in. But it's just devastating, man. It's just a devastating loss because this was like our best chance to stay within the division hunt. And obviously the Vikings are in second right now in our division, but it's a very tough. It's tough to lose that way, and down to the field goal. I was kind of hoping that we would get another Carl Brooks miracle magic, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But on the last play, the last offensive play, it's a handoff, and Goff somehow falls down, and they still managed to get the run out and get the first, which was just ridiculous. They should have been ready for that. It's what we were looking for all game. Not enough sacks, not enough pressure on Goff. And we haven't even gone through the stats yet. So, Jordan Love went for 206 yards, a touchdown pass. And again, he had only 31 yards passing, keep in mind, going into the first half, despite having 7 points going out of the first half. Josh Jacobs had a monster game. He had 66 yards, 18 attempts for 3 rushing touchdowns. Christian Watson had 4 receptions for 114 yards, but he did have that devastating fumble early on in the game. Yeah. Jordan Love had 4 attempts for 23 yards rushing. Wilson had 1 attempt for 7 yards. And then we go to the receiving core. Obviously, we talked about Watson, 4 receptions for 114. Devontae Wicks, 4 receptions for 49 yards. Tucker Kraft had 3 receptions for 41 yards and a touchdown pass. Jaden Reed had nothing. He was targeted once but didn't get anything, which kind of sucks because of my fantasy league. So I didn't want to see him go out like that. Again, Nixon, Tricky Dicky had the interception. Woodson also had a big tackle. Got a lot of people that had big hits. But out of them all, oh yeah. So yeah, the biggest difference here, look at this. 1 sack, and that was from Reserve Gary. And that's it. Only person who had a sack, and that was a big issue. Big issue to why we didn't come out on top in this one. Yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have that prepared. And just doesn't think we didn't get it done when we needed to get it done. So yeah, it's just it's unfortunate. It came down to the field goal and we couldn't get it. We didn't have that Carl Brooks magic this time. But yeah, I'm upset. I'm really mad, because we played our tails off and they just couldn't stop them. But yeah, that is about it. That's really all I have to talk about. I'm really mad about it, but again, we got to now try to focus on the next remaining games to ensure that we're in the playoffs. And that's what we got to do. We got to beat Seattle. We got to beat the Saints. And then we move on to our division teams at the end of the season. But yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah, guys, that is it. Comment, rate if you like this video, my videos. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell for latest content. Thank you. And that is it. I am the S Ultimate Goku Moderator. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, to follow the Twitch, follow the Instagram. Both has S Ultimate Goku. Discord link in the description where we discuss various topics. Also, I do have a YouTube tier list where you can get subscribed for a bunch of different perks. And now I'm out. Peace.